Hello and thanks for joining us. We are here in the Snake Pit at Peninsula High School. I am Maria Sorreo, here with my co-host Will Lupardas, and this is your first time in the pit, is it not?
My first time. You had to like sneak me down here.
I did.
Secret location.
It's a secret way to even get in here,
Peninsula
but
High
it's
School.
Very cool. Yes, very cool. The 4-1 Panther football team actually practices down here, and it's been quite amazing. They've had such a turnaround from 0-10 to 4-1 already this year.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
In this show, we're going to take a look at some of the players and the coaches and see what's been the result of this amazing turnaround.
The turnaround has been phenomenal. Yes, and many other things to talk about.
First up, though,
yes,
some of the biggest news in sports and some of the worst news in sports.
Yes.
The NBA lockout is still not resolved, and the commissioner, David Stern, has officially canceled the first 2 weeks of the NBA regular season. Now, there's a lot of issues at hand here. There's some major ones.
There are.
You have some questions about it. I'm sure everybody else has questions about it.
You know, I do. My biggest one is, if the first 2 weeks are canceled, does that mean the first 2 weeks literally are canceled, then they just pick up on the third week's games, or?
The first 2 weeks of the regular season have disappeared now. Those games won't be made up. They won't be played. If we're lucky enough to get the season picked up at that 2 week mark,
okay,
the 2 week mark games
will be the first game.
Begin. Yeah. So games like Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder was opening night. That's lost. The Mavericks would get the Dallas Mavericks would get their championship rings against the Chicago Bulls opening night. It's all gone. It's all going to have to.
So they're going to have to wait for their rings for 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks.
Maybe longer.
At least. Some people predict these differences they have, financially. Could make the lockout last the entire year, and may not have an NBA season this year.
Let's talk about that, because I think it's difficult to understand. I know that the owners want a 50-50 split. The players were at 57, and now they're at 53.
The way it's been
they want
for
53.
About 10 years, the players, it's called a BRI.
Okay.
Basketball related revenue. Sorry, basketball related
income, right?
And that's ticket sales, TV sales, anything that it relates to the game of basketball.
Okay.
Players were getting 57%. The owner's share was about 43%. Now, of course, the owners would get other things like, merchandising and concessions and things like that. Well, now the owners are saying, we're not making enough money. These players are making too much. We'll give you 50%. The players said, no, we want 53. Let's compromise. Let's meet in the middle. Nobody's budging, and that's why we're not going to have basketball.
Now, why do you think the players are not willing to go 50-50 and just call it a day and start the games?
Because they feel like they're the 300 or 400 best basketball players in the world. There can't be an NBA without them, so give us what we want. At least give us a little more. It's less than what we had, but we want more than what you're trying to give us. So they do have the leverage. They are the most talented athletes in the world, some people think.
Now, what's your feeling about them playing overseas? Obviously, Kobe may go play in Italy. So I know Sasha Vujacic is already going to play somewhere else, I think Russia or somewhere. What is your feeling about them playing? Should they be doing nothing, or should they be playing somewhere?
Well, I think as an athlete, you're a young athlete, your career's not over.
Right.
You want to continue to work your body, at least get workouts. Why not get paid for it? Audiences want to see these players play.
Right.
And it's not like it's a strike, it's a lockout. They're locked out. Do
they physically lock the door?
I think so. That's what happened in the NFL. They couldn't practice.
It's so weird.
So these guys can't use their facilities. If they want to play basketball with other pros,
they have to get together.
Europe, either if they're not playing in these charity games like they have,
which some of them, LeBron just played in one, I believe.
There's been charity leagues in New York and LA where they'll go in a gym.
But that's not like real basketball. I mean, they're not really playing contact like they would in a regular game.
Not as physical. They're getting more of a workout, and they're entertaining some fans. But Europe is an option for these guys to play real competitive basketball.
And then what if they get hurt there? That's a chance you take, right?
There's insurance clauses in all those European contracts too, but that's always a risk,
Yeah, well, we're going to move on to some NFL news. Hopefully we'll have this basketball thing worked out by the end of the show, right?
Let's hope so. Yeah, about an hour we should have it
We should have it figured out, yeah. All right, moving on to NFL. First, we want to send our condolences to all of the Raider fans for the passing of Al Davis. I have to tell you that all of the Raider players, former players that I've met, including Rod Martin and Jerry Robinson, Howie Long, many of the guys, Willie Gault, always called him Mr. Davis, and they really loved Al. And if you think about, he's a controversial figure, he always has been, but he started when football started, and he really changed the game.
Yeah, I think he was one of those owners, and he was a coach.
Right, he was everything.
He was a GM. He was one of those guys that really did every facet of the Oakland Raiders during his tenure.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people loved him because he made decisions for the football team that the fans wanted to see.
Right.
He got guys that could run and guys that could hit hard and
older guys that guys didn't want anymore, teams didn't want anymore. He took them.
Yeah, he got Raider fans excited. So
he did.
He's missed sorely by them.
Yes, and yeah, I know that his son Mark will be taking over the team along with Amy Trask, and I think it looks like right now our friend Arash Markazi, I read the other day, said that they'll look for GM. So somewhere in this they'll look for GM, but as of right now, things are kind of left in limbo. But the players responded. They won in Houston. They were not supposed to win, so I really hope they can keep it going the rest of the season. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a sad moment for the organization. And like you said, the team will be in limbo, but fortunately they're playing very well. So Raider fans have a lot to cheer about.
The silver and black, they're a tough team.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I like them. Okay, let's stay in the AFC West because we have some interesting storylines, including Tim Tebow playing in Denver. He will be the starter. What is your opinion on that?
Well, the fans
wanted
to see
Tebow.
him out there.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the win, but he got fans really excited.
I love him.
And
because he goes out and he does this with the fans and he gets everybody going, and the fans like that.
Right.
Fans are excited.
And he did a lot in college. He won a couple national championships in Florida.
He did.
I don't know what he can do in Denver. He's got a style that's a little bit different from a lot of the quarterbacks we've seen win Super Bowls. Like Brady and Peyton Manning. He doesn't seem to have that kind of style of throwing and offense, but the fans like him. I say give him a shot.
Me too.
Let him play the season, see what happens.
All the Merrill Hodges of the world can sit there and say that he's a bad quarterback. Hey, let him play first. If he's bad, they're going to boo him and they'll get Orton back in. That's how football is.
He's a polarizing quarterback.
Exactly.
Love him or hate him.
Now, another story that we have to touch upon is the San Diego Chargers. Now, the San Diego Chargers are 4-1, but are they really a 4-1 team?
Well, they really are a 4-1 team.
Well, they really are 4-1. I guess you are. Your record says you are, as I like to say. But are they really good? Are they good 4-1, or are they just barely making it?
Well, we'll see. I think they're going to be all right. I mean, they might be a playoff team because I don't think the AFC West is one of the stronger divisions.
Raiders are 3-2.
Yeah, I think it will come down to the Raiders and the
Chargers.
So we'll have a California AFC West,
which is always
showdown.
fun.
But yeah, 4-1 team. That's a nice start.
It's pretty good.
We'll see.
We'll see. It's going to be exciting, that's for sure. Now, the biggest surprises of the season, I think, so far, Detroit and Buffalo are actually really good. I actually saw Buffalo play the other day, and they're really good. This isn't just, I don't think this is just maybe they're just winning a few games.
I mean, Detroit's exciting to watch.
Very exciting.
And Buffalo beat New England, and New England is really, I think,
they're
one
a
of the
good
better
team?
teams.
Of course they are. They're, of course, like one of the best teams.
Yeah, so getting beat by Buffalo, that just shows you Buffalo's got they've got some tricks up their sleeves. And Stevie Johnson.
Yeah, amazing.
Fred Jackson, the running back.
Very good.
And Fitzpatrick, where'd he come from?
I don't know. I don't know where he came from, but he's definitely there now.
And another surprise in the NFL is how badly the Philadelphia Eagles are doing, right?
The Jets and the Eagles, I think, are probably the biggest disappointments. I mean, I knew the second they said the Eagles were that dream team, they were in big trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble.
LeBron James, Dwayne Wade could have told you, stay away from dream teams.
Shouldn't go there. That's for sure. But they did, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. I don't know. You know what? I'm a Cowboy fan, so no love lost between me and the Philadelphia Eagles. So there you go.
Well, there was no love ever had between you and the Philadelphia Eagles.
You're right. Never ever.
And people want Andy Reid out of there.
Because they're not winning. Because they're not. He's taking responsibility for it, but I don't know if it's all his fault. So, all right. When we come back, we are going to meet the 2011 Panther football team. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. 4-1. What is different this year?
Well, I'll tell you what, the kids are different. New group of kids came this year a little more prepared, a lot more prepared actually, mentally to play, physically to play. They did a tremendous job in the off-season program, working very hard, and that's reflected in this first 5 games that we've played.
I know that for coaches, you always hope that each player gets it, and the light goes on. What specifically happened with this team give me an example of some of the guys that you felt that happened with.
Well, Joey Agello, Chris Whitehead, these are the guys that kind of took charge in the off-season program, made sure guys were at the weight room doing what they needed to do in the off-season, and that's where the light went on. We have a lot of seniors this year, and they all kind of set a great example for the younger guys about what it takes to be committed to the weight room.
What was your biggest concern about having a new quarterback coming in?
Well, anytime you add new bodies to, especially that position, that you need you just don't know what you're going to get. And Matt's done a great job. He has managed our offense great. We're not turning over the ball. He's doing a great job. He stepped in, took charge, and we never really looked back. So it was great.
Okay, and I see that you have a new Sebastian Janikowski type field goal kicker here. Talk about that kick the other night.
Tony Bumate, I'll tell you, it's a great weapon to have, and he has done a great job. He came from the soccer field, and boy, kicked a magical kick the other night. What a great way to finish a game with 1 second left against South, and tie game. Couldn't ask for anything more. It's great when you have finishes like that. I'll tell you, this year the preseason has allowed us to be competitive, and these kids have battled for 4 quarters, and to have a guy that's been able to come in and kick a field goal like that is just magical for these kids. Great memory for them.
No, absolutely. I've asked some of the guys, what do you learn the most from losing? As a coach, what do you learn the most from losing?
Humility. You learn, hey, you know what? At the high school level, you're going to lose. You got to keep perspective of this. This is a high school sport with high school kids, and you know, losing is never fun in this game because you invest so much emotionally into it. But you know what? You got to take lessons from it and just keep battling. What you learn is you can get up in the morning, come back again for another day, and keep fighting. And that's really what this program has been about over the last few years. You know, we haven't had a lot of success, and these kids are the result of it. They just keep getting up and keep battling and keep fighting and doing the best they can.
What is the biggest difference this year from last year?
I think the biggest difference is the work ethic of our seniors. You know, we have 19 seniors on the team as opposed to just 10 from last year, and they've really worked their tails off. They've done everything we've asked them to do in the off season, in the weight room, in the classroom, on the field, off the field. They've done a tremendous job leading this group that we have. So the seniors, I credit a lot of this success we're having to the seniors.
You have a new quarterback. How did that mesh in with the team?
You know, it worked out great. As soon as our old quarterback left, the new one stepped up, and practice immediately intensified. The vibe was a lot better around the team in the locker room, and the team kind of gelled together around him and around us as a team, and we became more of a team. And we started gelling. So the vibe was better. It was more positive out there, and it went over to the football field because you can tell on the field we have a lot more energy out there, and we're winning some games.
Is that more of a personality kind of a thing, or?
I think it's a lot of personality and the guys rallying around him. The guys rallying around our quarterback now, Matt and Wally, picking him up as a senior. He's his first year starting. He's got 4 victories under his belt right now in his first 5 games, so he's doing a great job so far.
You know, I know that winning sort of cures a lot of the ills, but what's it been like for you guys so far winning this year?
You know, it's true what they say, winning solves all.
Yeah.
Everything happens, everything's better when you're winning.
Okay.
Practice seems a lot smoother. Things in the classroom are going better. I mean, everything is just a lot smoother. Everything's a lot better when you're winning football games. It's much easier.
Okay, when we talk about co-coaches, what specifically do you teach and that Kevin teaches that's different?
Well, I work with the offense and he works with the defense. Now when he's coaching the defense, he's the defensive coordinator and I'm the defensive line coach. So I have a position. Now when I'm coaching the offense, I'm the offensive coordinator and he coaches the defensive backs, or excuse me, the offensive backs. Okay. So we're helping each other out. When he's running the defense, I'm one of a position coach. When I'm running the offense, he's a position coach. So it's worked well so far. We're gelling. You know, he's the yin to the yang type thing. So it's working out.